Roses, glythops, daisies, bleeding hearts. Yes, that's an actual flower, by the way. They actually look a lot nicer than the name, gives them credit for. Though, I don't blame you for thinking that bleeding hearts were going to be some ugly or scary looking plant. It's just human nature, don't you suppose? The ability to judge books by its cover. Martin Luther King says not to judge those based on people's skin, but by the content of their character. Clearly, Martin Luther King has never picked up a science book. Martin, my man, my good man. You gotta understand that we are but simple humans, and in my opinion, even though I love black people, when I see a big 6'4" black guy and he ain't wearing a suit, I'm going to think he's going to rob me. When I see an Asian, I think he's smart but submissive. When I see a middle-aged white guy, I think sex offender, to be honest. And when I hear an Indian voice, I automatically assume scammer. And perhaps, just maybe, when I read the name Bleeding Hearts for a plant, I thought maybe it was going to be a poisonous plant, or at least a very ugly looking flower. To not judge the skin, but to judge thy character. To look beyond the book cover and see what a book is actually about. Oh, but Martin, you silly sod, you silliest of sods, you delight Viola. Once again, you fail to consider that perhaps some people may want to be judged by their appearance, or even worse, to be completely misread in their character. Some people are just gonna appear nice and friendly, but they're secretly stabbing you in the back. I mean, just look at my Guide of Lies series. But aside from manipulators, some people may purposely appear dangerous or defenseless for whatever reason. I mean, did you know short people are more likely to be manipulative? Or at least be mean compared to tall people? More mean compared to tall people, I mean. It's to compensate for strength, supposedly. Which, by the way, is BS for tall people. You telling me tall people get slightly more strength but aren't as smart as shorter people typically? Sorry, but being a master manipulator will probably get you a lot farther in probably every aspect of life. It just sucks for tall people. I mean, they develop back issues and, society is clearly not built for them either. And, man, it just must be so annoying. But, hey. At least you can bag the girl, right? Oh, what? Your face doesn't look pretty? Ah, well, there's plenty of flowers in the fields. Anywho, Martin, you're just too precious for this world, my boy. SpongeBob, me boy. You were so precious that the CIA definitely did not murder you, Martin. The flowers did, unfortunately. Oh, was that my favorite flower? What is my favorite flower? I must say it's a tough choice, and gotta be honest, my whole life I can safely say I never really had much of a favorite of anything. Not a favorite food, favorite song, favorite hobby, or hell, even a favorite friend. I mean, sure, I think G-Bot is my favorite video game, but even then, I can't say for sure, because there's just so many other good ones. Yet, I do know one thing, viewers. And that is that you're gonna like and subscribe. Sorry, I had to do that, okay? I had to do that. I don't know why, but saying that actually improves likes and subscriptions, okay? Anywho, above all else, even though I may not have grand pedestals of favorite things, I can safely say that my favorite flower is the false shamrock, I think. Yes, the false shamrock. It's dear to my heart for a myriad of reasons. And if you're sharp enough, you could probably piece together at least one of the reasons. Though, I find those reasons hardly relevant to this video at hand. You know, I have this friend, and he really loves gardening. Loves it, actually. I'll even say he's pretty damn good with it, I think, and is unique in his approach to gardening. It's really weird. I don't even think I'm using the correct term, but Actually, I would describe it more as an art, the way he does things. Making elaborate and beautiful tulips, arranging them in beautiful works of art, and even having meanings besides seemingly just cool-looking plants. This friend always talks on and on about, and it's a shame really, by the way, that gardening, or whatever the hell you call what he does, is always seen just as pretty entertainment, or meaningless busy work. It's a shame, really, he says at least. He sees so much artistic potential, and I do too. He actually lives off it, by the way, selling flowers and flower works, though he often finds himself in a rather tough conundrum. Like, he loves the art he makes and the unique plants he grows, but oftentimes it seems people just don't really care. They just care about regular ass roses and shit like that. Typical, really. Most people just care about the same packaged slop that's the norm. Nothing new or creative about roses. They're just roses. We've seen them 1,000 times, and everything you could do with them has been done with them. So pathetic, isn't it? Imagine being this idiot. What an utter disgrace. He can't make money or make what he wants. Oh, it's like super sad. Oh, my poor friend, been stuck in such a dastardly situation. I'm totally crying. A man must always be forced to pick and choose what flowers he waters. The gardener only has a little bit of water. What flowers he ought to water, huh? What flowers? Minomas, pitchers, orchids, daisies, staghorns, tulips, marigolds, peonies. What flowers? Tell me! Oh, cruel world, for the poor old gardener to be locked into picking and choosing what flowers shall be grown indomitably. I wonder... Caught between two rocks, there is no escape. There are only choices, and choices must be made. Failure could result in losing everything, I imagine. So, I am dying to hear what flowers you like. Viewer, what type of bee are you? What flower would you fly on? Are you a basic bitch bee or something more unique? I hope you like something different. I mean, in my opinion, and only my opinion matters. There are so many people who buy basic flowers because they themselves are basic. So many humans on this earth, yet I find most of them boring, repetitive, predictable, and boring. If there's one thing I hate, it's boredom. And people are so boring. It feels like seeing the exact same repeated stories over and over again. And sadly, I'm self-aware enough to realize that there was at least a couple hundred of people who were exactly like me through the eons of history. Just like there were probably hundreds of gardeners like my friend. Oh, to have the delusion of thinking that one is unique. Fool! There is no such thing as being unique, just levels of conformity. And so many of you are simple little conformists, undeserving of anything. You disgust me. I loathe you. Those types. You know, those types, the good folk. Bland personality, never holding an opinion, backs down at the sign of conflict. Submissive cattle is what they are and embody. Barely sapient Nindaria. Undeserving of any respect or love for their sloth. They live like nothing and die like nothing. Their bodies amounting to only dust. Powerless upstarts, doomed to obscurity. Human trash. The conundrum, the problem, the obstacle, the worry, the annoyance, the issue, the mess, the water, hyacinth isn't quite as simple as it looks, is it? To some, the choice will be clear. Monetary incentives or personal gratification. No one said running a flower shop would be easy. I said it would be brutal. He didn't listen. Of course he didn't. He never does. You know, sometimes doing what you want doesn't always mean it's, your true dream or desire. Sometimes, my comrades, mayhaps the sacrifice of personal gratification is worth achieving something truly grand. Something so grand that it eclipses one whole. No? Not so clear, is it now? If it wasn't before, it definitely isn't now, huh? 'Tis the question of the hour. Really, I guess it's just what poison you're willing to take. And sadly, all the poisons are just as painful. And I'm sure they'll slowly kill you in the end. Well, what would you pick, huh? What would you do in this circumstance, huh? You think you can do better? Handle it better? Huh? Well, tell me, talk! Are you going to take the toxin that slowly malnourishes you? Or maybe you'll take the toxin that'll keep you alive? Oh, almost everything. Aside your soul, maybe. What's your jib, huh? Your deal, your apparatus? Does the end justify the means or not? What if mayhaps there is no difference in the choice? That the only similarity between the two is that they both lead to an empty grave, waiting for your corpse to be stuffed into. I miss when flowers were just flowers. My good friend the gardener is still milling about, still pacing in his little greenhouse, muttering and blabbering nonsense. It's cute. He's just another loser that I'm somehow friends with. Oh well! It's ironic though, for all his talk of fun flowers, he himself is rather boring. And to be honest, my humble viewers might view it as crass, but you know, if a person is boring, I try to make at least our friendship interesting, you know? That does mean I sometimes have to do some things that may be a little morally questionable, but who cares? Any harm done goes away eventually. Emotions are fleeting, fleeting like flowers. It all just burns away eventually. Honestly, I'm probably one of the most interesting thing in my friends' rather boring lives. If anything, I'm doing them a favor by shaking things up, adding flavor to their little world. And I keep my good friend the gardener around for fun, because he's my favorite one to play with, you know? We all have favorites! A favorite video game, for example, a favorite tool, a favorite outfit. Turns out I do have a favorite of something else aside flowers. He's my favorite one to mess with the most. Out of all of them, he deserves it, I think. All the wonders and blessings I give, and all the horror and anxiety. Oh, and I don't think I'm being unfair or dramatic or anything. He likes it too. That's why I do it. He revels in it. We both do. It's for like that reason that I gotta toughen him up, you know? He's finally getting around to answering that question that I've long observed before he even brought it up to me. He always pushes things away, saying later, but later is now, and time's up. The world keeps spinning, spinning, and spinning! Isn't it so wonderful? The water is running low, and soon there might be no water left for him. I mean, after all, global warming is a big bitch. Our world is slowly drowning in heat and fire, and it's only a matter of time where the window for choosing will be taken out of his small hands. Before long, all the waters will evaporate into nothing. Then what? No more pretty flowers for you, no more money, no more dreams, only starvation and death. What did I say again? Powerless upstarts. You know, the more time you spend caring and nurturing for something or someone, the more the others suffer, right? Suffering forged from kindness, I call it. The act of doing something good, but that good that you only give to one thing or person, by and large, makes the others despair because they don't have it. Pray tell, if you have a limited amount of water and can only water Group A or Group B, one group's gonna suffer, ain't it? And these choices are everywhere. I can't imagine what world leaders have to face on a daily basis. There is often harsh criticism to those ruling, though they're not always the monsters you think. You'd be surprised that at the end of the day, they're still human. Looking at the US presidents before and after they're done with the office is always telling. Eye bags, white hair, relief, or maybe haunted looks in their eyes. We think we're met with harsh choices, though I think it's nice to remember that we could always have tougher ones. Iatrogenesis is a medical term. It's used to describe unintentional, unfavorable health conditions or harm done to a patient that is being treated by medical professionals. In short, it's an accident, though an accident that is always bound to happen. Iatrogenesis by nature is just that. An accident, an unintended consequence of unforeseen circumstances or incompetence. Yet doctors must sometimes be put into cruel situations where they must pick and choose. For example, let's say who gets an organ transplant. Decisions to who gets to live and to die. To help someone at the cost of something or someone else. The choice to water one plant with the limited water you have while leaving the other to slowly, agonizingly, to wither and die slowly. The blood is on your hands. It was your choice, was it not? Any unintended consequences is squarely on your shoulders. Don't feel bad though, if it makes you feel any better. Like emotions, life is fleeting. The plants and flowers will eventually die, and so will the person who wasn't given the organ donation. So there's some food for thought, if that somehow lets you sleep at night. Well, that was all fun and good, gents, wasn't it? We learned a lot about flowers and plants in this cute video about cute flowers. What wasn't there to smile and enjoy about, You know, my mother works as a teacher aide at my local school. And not so long ago, they wrapped up the year. As if like clockwork, fellow aides and teachers along with students' parents gave her gifts for her service. Like a cute little family, aww. She's pretty liked. She's a hard worker and sweet. A typical boring, nice, competent mom who looks after kids. Anywho, one of her presents was a bouquet of roses. Ironic, yeah. And of course, like anyone, she loved them. She put them in a little vase next to the windowsill to get that rich sunlight. I was tasked, since I'm around while she's gone to work, to oversee the flowers among my regular list of chores and duties. I took care of it as best I could. It shriveled up and died in less than a day. Sorry, Mommy. I'm not a real gardener.
Is the old song they say. If you really dream it, then you gotta believe it. If you wanna make it true today. Ashes to ashes, little Rosie burns down. No one's making it out alive. Hush is the fire that burns down the whole town. All she wants to do is survive. If she wasn't